starting. The idea is for this session, which was described as linking farmers to markets and introduction to the field day, we intend to provide a space for the efforts, enormous efforts made by several institutions and individuals to prepare for these activities, both for the marketplace and the field day, may offer a possibility for, will offer you a possibility of visiting the marketplace with the necessary time for you to become acquainted with everything that is presented there, particularly will be specifically referring to inputs having to do with the field day tomorrow. Many people have registered, but some may be acquainted with more elements for decision making about participating in these activities. We thought it would be timely to have a presentation on the shared view of the agricultural and livestock sector and the innovation system incorporation to public policy for agricultural research for development to take place. The ideas that promote, that provide drive to what we intend to do will be submitted by Dr. Álvaro Ruel, Chairman of the National Institute for Agricultural Research, and also of the cooperative system for the Southern Cone. Good afternoon. First of all, in representation of the National Institute for Agricultural Research, INEA, and the local organizers, I wish to welcome all participants to Uruguay once again. We hope you're enjoying your stay after 2 days of intense activities and discussions. Tomorrow's activity is important in order to be able to showcase some of the ideas behind the Uruguayan model. And I think that as soon as we are far from these very comfortable hotels and this seaside place that is removed from the central objectives of this conference, we'll be able to appreciate the natural resources available to the country, as the minister said, and yesterday was mentioned by the President of the Republic. So I think in this framework of discussion and growth of world population and food security, 7 billion inhabitants in the world, 9 billion for 2050, but 800,000 that do not meet their basic needs. So we can show you how this region forms part of the solution. It's a message to be conveyed, and we can make it extensive to other countries of Mercosur and South America in general. Tomorrow's activity is based on the axis of two central issues. On the one hand, family farming connected to the market, and therefore the different visits and circuits that will be presented later have as axis the family farmer and the possibility of personal interaction with these realities for you. And we also have innovation as central topic. Innovation, however, through the action of each one of the institutions that have to do with a specific work taking place within each one of these circuits. We can see the value of seeds, the value of beef, and the agencies and institutes related to them, and land, milk producers, In each one, the interaction among the different agencies and institutions related to the field, and also research and organization of farmers. I think all of this forms part of the pillars that provide a basis to the institutional model of the National Institute for Agricultural Research that's geared to the demand aspect. And the purpose is for us that whatever is discussed should reach the farmers. So it's the axis of an institution like INEA, but it's also shared. The action management is shared with the farmers and the public sector, and it's accompanied by co-financing by both sectors. If to that we add the view of permanent cooperation, the Institute is another component of the national innovation system. We know we have complex issues to resolve at present, and it's not enough to have a single institution. The system must be fed back with the rest of the institutionalities and institutes that form the national innovation system through specialized agencies, basically also the University of the Republic. This is not only necessary at the national level, but also should fit in with the international sphere, and the institutional aspects have always been given priority in terms of interaction at the international level. The other central axis of this institutional model is periodically and systematically to carry out external independent evaluations to allow us to render reports to society in terms of costs and benefits. We hope that the possibility you will have tomorrow may strengthen your appreciation of these ideas that I'm mentioning, so that it may serve as an input for discussion of the final stage of conclusions to be reached on Thursday. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Álvaro.
Thank you.
¿Cómo se implementa?
How do these strategic guidelines translate into the definition of the marketplace and the field day through the 6 circuits that will be made available? Licenciada Verónica Muselli, who is responsible for the Institute's cooperation unit and a new member of the National Council of Agricultural Organizations. Good afternoon.
Muy buenas tardes a todos.
Good afternoon, all. Thank you, Mr. Allegri. As was well said by Mr. Allegri and the chairman, Mr. Roel, this week we are present, Uruguay, the region of the world, at this conference in the course of several activities. One is the marketplace that showcases certain aspects. Some of you have already visited it, but we can have an official visit in a few minutes. This exhibition includes more than 10 institutions and centers, international research centers, and institutes in different countries of the region, and regional forums, and also of the country itself. The marketplace then is a result of enormous institutional efforts. In the country pavilion, we've tried to show all participants the work of the Ministry for Agriculture, Livestock, and Fisheries, and the institutions that make it up, such as is the case of the Research Institute at the Ministry of Agriculture, and how all of these institutions work providing technological solutions to farmers in our country. We're also making a presentation of the life stories of different farmers, and of course, we invite you to visit the marketplace, to become familiar with the contents of the circuits, the different itineraries that will be visited tomorrow. We'll wait for you after this session. Thank you, Veronica. An interinstitutional effort made in the past few months by preparing different types of materials like specific videos, offering a presentation of the country at the level of the agricultural and livestock sector, the innovation systems, and the scientific aspects we'll be seeing that led to the establishment of a digital platform. You've received a pen drive that's been placed in the website, and Mr. Elordoy, a coordinator of the National Institute for Agricultural Research, and he will be offering a demonstration of what they've been doing with the World Bank. Mr. Elordoy.
Gracias. Buenas tardes para todos.
Thank you. Good afternoon, all. Technology is marvelous, isn't it? Because the first day you took an important part of our work with you, and the past few weeks, the work of many people and institutions in Uruguay who've been working to do what you see here on the screen, to make it a reality. The organizers were asking the coordinators, how do we make a presentation of Uruguay? How do we offer a field day to your illustrious visitors so that it may be understood and managed for our own profit? And we've reached the point of preparing the material that's included in the pen drive, in the very small pen drive you received in the different bags that you received. Here we see the results of the work of many people who for different weeks, for several weeks, went through areas of the country that in an effort to show you what we could present to you during the field day. And not just that. What we propose to do is ask ourselves, how do we make Uruguay known? You may know Uruguay through soccer activities or perhaps certain agricultural and livestock activities and scientific advances, but it's a country that's not outstanding and as others are. So in this platform, we have included information on video, on images that have to do with Uruguay, with data, very general, overall data, and some characteristics that make it what it is, and we understand are unique in terms of what our country is. Then we wanted to make a presentation of the agricultural and livestock sector through smart agriculture. And we prepared a video that you could see at the inaugural ceremony with messages by the Minister of Agriculture and the President of the Institute. But the platform also includes information on 3 axes that are essential to understand what the agricultural and livestock sector is: products, innovation lines, and institutions, and all three are here. We can say beef. Beef is an important product for us. We have information within the platform that refers to surface, the number of heads, the weight of family farming in this area, and we've prepared this on the basis of data collected that was achieved in many weeks of work. And here we have general information under the different headings, dairies, beef, different headings that you can find there. And we also, in this platform, we wanted to include the innovation aspects, traceability. You have a list of what forms part of the work of all agencies and institutes working in the area of agriculture and livestock. Here we have a lot of concentrated work and many contributions of the National Institute that you will find here, following the lines of innovation and the specific contributions made by the National Institute for Agricultural Research. And also you can see the institutions involved, those working actively to promote the agricultural and livestock sector. The Institute is joined by INAC and several other agencies. Perhaps the most pertinent thing right now is to refer to the field day. It is made up by 6 routes, 6 axes. If you haven't chosen yet, you can choose to visit the areas that are of greater interest for you to visit tomorrow. This field day is made up of 6 circuits. The first one has to do with traceability, added value, vertical integration, family farmers with areas that you see there. Enrique Suarez, for example, 64 hectares. He has a production model that is vertically integrated so that it reaches the market, and that's been interest has been expressed on it in its regard here. You can see the map for Circuit 1, and you can see the applicable video with the statements made by the farmers who will be visited tomorrow by you.
Tenemos un segundo circuito que es el de la coinnovación, producción ganadera familiar. Y el esquema de presentación de los datos es en todos igual, con el mapa, con su video, con información referida a los rubros de producción que están allí en el predio. Por ejemplo, en este caso podemos introducirnos en la lana. El tercer circuito tiene que ver con acceso a la tierra, ese es el nombre, pero en realidad no sé cómo se traduce, pero podríamos decir es un título machete, es un título que dice algo de lo que se quiere comunicar y compartir, pero no dice todo. El circuito 3 tiene que ver con la producción de material genético certificado. Y este es un circuito que tiene mucho que ver con la producción familiar y liderada por mujeres. Alicia Rodríguez, por ejemplo,
Alicia Rodriguez,
la
for instance, and you're going to have a chance to see her tomorrow. She chairs a co-op to produce certified onion seeds. And that's a model. It's a successful model. And tomorrow, most certainly Alicia and her family will be proud to welcome you at their place. Circuit number 4 is about access to land, as I said. And that's a model that perhaps is an innovation model, because there are many
farmers that have access to land in a system organized by the Colonization Institute. In this circuit, you will have access to see something that is of interest to many people, and that has to do with milk production. This is a cooperative system with farmers that would give their production to the main private company in Uruguay called Conaprole. Circuit number 5 is very much related to INEA, and INEA will host the group choosing this circuit. Large part of the activity of this field trip will be based at the experimental station called Las Brujas, which is close to INEA, but it's the further away, it's the furthest away from Punta del Este. There you will see the work done by INEA, Las Brujas, and farmers. You'll be able to meet farmers, fruit production, mainly taken into account the environment. And then circuit number 6 is precisely on the other side of Punta del Este. If you have a look at the map, we're going east of Punta del Este, and we're going to be in a province called Rocha. Here we'll be able to look into production systems in protected areas. You'll be able to talk and see the experts of the institutions involved. Those they will be extremely proud to welcome you. I could go much longer into all these, but perhaps I'm going to be too iterative, and you have all this material available at our website, which you have there, or perhaps in the material that you received on Sunday. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Juan Andrés.
Thank you, Juan Andrés. As you can appreciate, the presentations have been brief and concise because our interest is that you may have time available to visit the stands. Mrs. Locatelli will be referring to some logistical and operational aspects that we hope will be very clear. She'll do it in English and Spanish so that you can all understand what we are preparing for you. First of all, to remind you that registration closes tonight by 8 p.m. We know there's an important number of people who have registered. The spaces for some of the circuits are being closed, but we want to remind you that you only have 2 more hours to decide which area you'd like to visit. That on the one hand, and on the other hand, to bear in mind that tomorrow there'll be a shuttle service from your hotels to the Conrad Hotel here. It will start 1 hour earlier than usual, as of 7 a.m., so you have to get up even earlier than usual. Tomorrow at 7:30, our buses will be leaving this hotel, Conrad Hotel. They will be individualized with the number and name of the circuit. It's going to be a long day with some destinations that are about an hour and a half away from Punta del Este. It will be an intense and lengthy day because the weather forecast says we're going to have a sunny day. So it will be a beautiful day that you may take advantage of to become more acquainted with Uruguay. Of course, as was commented before, you'll be visiting the farmers. Each circuit will include farmers and associations and some packers, meat packers, and the industry as it is represented, because we know the slogan here was linking farmers to markets. So we tried to show you how the farmers are linked with the markets from the standpoint of their production. At the end of the day, all the buses will be meeting at a tourist ranch that's a few kilometers away from this Hotel Conrad. It is a very beautiful place where we'll be inviting you to share a typical Uruguayan dinner, also different to what you've had these past few days, with a show that we're working on, and we hope to see all of you there. To remind you that it's been raining a lot the past few days, and I'm saying this because of shoes and clothes you may want to wear. Any doubts, any questions you may have in the next few hours, and until you return to your hotels, there's an information desk next to the registration desk. We have people from our team who will be informing you on all details and completing the registration. After the inauguration of the marketplace, we'll also have available some information within the marketplace at the Uruguay Pavilion, any answers to any of the questions you may have on different circuits, and researchers of INEA who are leaders within each circuit, which are also available to you to provide answers to questions you may have. So we'll see you at the marketplace to discuss things with you and plan for tomorrow's field day.
Gracias, Verónica.
Thank you, Verónica.
Entonces, nosotros, es un resumen bien concreto.
I'm sorry
Por alguno que no tenga los equipos como para recibir la traducción.
I know there's translation, but it's just a quick, a very short message telling you not to forget that registration for the field days is going to finish by 8 p.m. So please, those who haven't registered yet, you're invited to do so. Before that time, there are people here from our team, from the local organization committee, and hostesses that have all the information about the field trips. Tomorrow, you will be leaving your hotels earlier in the morning. The bus shuttle service will start by 7 a.m., so you will have to get up earlier than these days. Then you will come to the Conrad hotels. There are going to be several buses here, all with the name, the number of the circuit or of the field trip, and you have just to follow the guidelines and the signs available. And tomorrow you will be out of Punta del Este till 7 p.m. By that time we will be already back from the field trip. The government of Uruguay is offering a special dinner for the closing of the field day tour. And well, we look forward to see you there, to see you tomorrow. And I know for sure that farmers also are looking forward to receiving you, to welcoming you in their fields. So, thank you.
Okay, muchas gracias. Entonces, los
Very well. We would invite you then to go on to the marketplace for the official inauguration. We're going to have a toast there, and then dinner in the tent offered by the National Institute and the Ministry of Tourism. We have enough time to recall the chairs and facilitators
tiene
that at
una
7
reunión
they have a
efectos de
meeting
nivelación y
in
de
order
preparación
to
de la
prepare
presentación para el
for
jueves,
the
pero
presentation on
disponen de un tiempo para
Thursday.
acompañarnos. Les
But you
agradecemos
will
mucho
have
que hayan
time to
estado,
join us later.
en esta-
We thank you
en
very
esta
much
sesión,
for
y
having been
particularmente que
present
nos
at this
acompañe en la
session,
inauguración oficial del
and
marco.
we thank you for your
Gracias.
presence at the inauguration of the marketplace. Thank you very much.
Muy bien.